make you co-host just in case if my connection drops. So I will start it. I'll start admitting people, and then we'll get started in just a moment.
You know, your connection's been good for a long time now. We haven't had any problems.
I know, but I like to play it safe.
I'm with you, kid.
I get very nervous. I like to have numerous backups. Hello, everyone who's joined so far. We'll get started in just a minute as people are still joining. Just admitting a couple more. We'll get started just shortly.
Okay.
Well, I can let people in while I do the intro, but are you ready to start, Leslie?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for logging on and attending this morning's program, Guided Meditation with Leslie Gabriele. My name is Matt Schumann. I am on the programming team here at Cary Library. Before we begin, just a few things to note. Please let me know in the chat if there are any technical issues I can try to resolve. And if you have any questions or comments, just unmute yourself at the end or type in the chat if you'd like. This program is made possible by the generous donors to the Cary Library Foundation. And with us today is, I just lost my spot on the, okay, I'd like to now introduce Leslie Gabriele. I know all this in my head. I don't know why I should know it like the back of my hand. Leslie is the founder of With Love and Gratitude, a nonprofit dedicated to helping individuals attain calm and peace in their lives through various techniques. Leslie will be back in 2 weeks on December 20th, and you can sign up on carylibrary.org. Actually, if you're already here, you already have the link. But I'd like to now, or please welcome Leslie. I'm all over the place today. I'm sorry.
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. With Love and Gratitude is a nonprofit organization dedicated to education and service. Our mission statement is to uplift the spirit. We're always interested in raising money for charities. We do as much fundraising as we can. We also do workshops like this one. If you want to know what we're up to, we offer many free events. You can always go to the website, www.withloveandgratitude.com. Thank you to the Cary Library and the Cary Library Foundation for making this possible, and for you, of course, joining me. I'm going to talk a little bit about the depth of the breath, and then we're going to do a Zen meditation. So sometimes people tell me it feels unnatural to breathe deeply, but this practice comes with specific benefits. Deep breaths are more efficient for your body. It allows this full exchange of incoming oxygen with outgoing carbon dioxide. It's also been shown to slow the heartbeat, lower or stabilize blood pressure, and lower stress. Well, that's a lot for just some deep breathing. The exercise we're going to do today, belly breathing, helps you relax, and you can do this either sitting or lying down. So to start with our deep breath relaxation exercise, put one hand on your belly and the other hand on your chest. Take a deep, slow breath from your belly and silently count to 4 as you breathe in. Hold your breath, counting from 1 to 7, and breathe out completely, counting from 1 to 8. You're actually trying to get all the air out of your lungs. So as you continue your breath, breathing in for 4, holding for 7, and out for 8, notice your hands moving on the inhale and then the exhale. taking a slow, deep breath from your belly, counting to 4, holding the breath, counting to 7, and then exhaling completely, counting to 8. And remember, it's never about being exact or being perfect. It's always about relaxing into the breath. And we make our exhale twice as long as our inhale to ensure the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, optimizing. And in making your exhale longer, the relaxation increases. So the form of Zen Buddhist meditation we'll do today, literally there's thousands of ways to meditate. I just chose this one for today. The myth, meditation is supposed to calm the mind. Correct meditation will lead you to stop thinking. This is just not true. And I say it all the time, and then people complain that they have thoughts. A feeling of calm and a quieter mind is sometimes a result of meditation, and it's a lovely one. But the purpose of meditation is not even to calm the mind or calm yourself. You haven't failed if your mind doesn't become like a still pool. You haven't failed if you have thoughts, and you haven't failed if there's a little busyness in the mind. It's the nature of the mind to generate thoughts endlessly, whether you're meditating or not. This is why Buddha often referred to the mind as the mind of a monkey. The purpose of meditation is not to see the nature of the monkey. Rather, the purpose is to observe the monkey, to see what is happening within your own mind. And that's it. No judgment. So the mind's going to do what the mind's going to do. Your job is to notice. That's it. Noticing the mind jumping around, doing its monkey thing. That is meditation. If the mind quiets as a result of being observed, which frankly it often does, that's wonderful. But whether it does quiet down or if it even gets more busy, it's of no consequence. Watch the monkey doing its thing. So today we're doing nothing meditation. You're going to be a witness. You're going to become aware of what you're doing, exactly what you're doing. In any given moment, you're going to bear witness to it. Observe it, name it, stand away from it, all at once. Observe it, name it, stand away from it, all at once. The moment is now. And now. When we cling to a now, rather than simply bearing witness to it and letting it pass, we become trapped in time as it passes. So for instance, instead of saying, I'm reading this, notice reading. Notice what the eyes do to read. Notice what the breath does. Notice the paper you're reading from. Notice, not labeling it, not judging it, just noticing the awareness through the 5 senses. And as you breathe, nostril breathing has been proven to be much more effective than mouth breathing. Think about it. The nose was built for breath, not the mouth. The nose warms the air before it goes into the lungs. It cleans the air before it goes into the body. So inhale in, and if you want, you can exhale through your nose or through your mouth. But the inhale, always nostril breathing. So no judgments, no labels, just noticing, including noticing if you have a tendency to label, noticing if you have a tendency to judge. Using awareness through all the five senses. I know when we sit to meditate, our mind wants to know what to do. So I'm going to tell the mind exactly what to do. Mind, simply allow everything to be as it is. When the mind wanders and needs to know what to do, tell your mind its sole occupation is to allow. Tell your mind, go ahead and tell it to let everything be as it is and notice what is. So, with a deep breath, notice what is. Okay, so let's check your body and see if you're allowing everything to be as it is. Because the body gives you very accurate feedback. So go ahead and check. A quick scan internally. Is there tension or tightness? If yes, then there's some blocking. This form of meditation is neither controlling or leading the way. Instead, you're watching it and letting it be what it is. More like a passenger, an experiencer. Watch what naturally happens. Without any idea of what should happen, you can watch what does happen. It sounds so obvious, and yet we very rarely have allowed ourselves to have no idea of what should happen, so we can watch what does happen. If you allow your five senses, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting, seeing, to do what they do and notice it, you can watch what naturally happens with your eyes and your ears and your fingertips and your tongue. You notice you naturally come into a state of listening when you allow yourself to be more a passenger and experiencer than the controller. Listen, watch, see what happens. Neither controlling or leading the way, just watching, letting it be what it is. Your mind's sole occupation is to allow. Telling the mind to let everything be as it is and notice what is. Notice it. Remember, tension and tightness is blocking of what is. Scan your body. Is there tension? It's all right. Notice it. Is there tightness? No judgment. Neither controlling or leading or changing. Letting it be. Watching it. Noticing it. Allowing it. This is all there is to do when you refuse to control the experience. Instead, you listen and you watch and you feel and you see what happens. You notice the watching, you notice the listening, you notice the seeing, you notice the breath. You notice the thoughts. Have you noticed that the watching, the awareness is fluid? Awareness doesn't stay in one place for very long. Bearing witness to this one moment of now, already gone. Eliminating any intention to control awareness as it moves around. Watching the fluidity of awareness as it moves from one place to another. The more that you allow this one moment of awareness, the more naturally you come into a state of listening. whatever is happening, notice it. Physical feelings, lack of sound, silence, noise, sense of openness, quietness, stillness, acceptance, whatever. Instead of controlling, experience awareness. By choosing to watch what naturally happens without needing to change it or judge it. Awareness moves from one point of interest to another, flowing along. So allow it to be that. Allow awareness to notice whatever it wants to notice. Without any intention to control awareness as it moves around. Instead, we notice. We listen and we watch. This is all there is to do when you refuse to control the experience. Without any idea of what should happen, you can actually watch what does happen. You're witnessing. Bearing witness to now and letting it pass by. Allowing the mind to wander, allowing the senses to sense, allowing what is and noticing it. Flowing along. Awareness moving from one point to another. Allowing awareness to notice whatever there is to notice. Flowing along. Awareness moving from here to there. So allow it to be that. Allow awareness to notice whatever it wants to notice. Flowing along. What changes as a result of meditation is not necessarily the speed or frequency of the thoughts that appear in our inner landscape, but rather our relationship to those thoughts. Through the practice of meditation, we become less identified with the ticker tape that runs through our heads, less convinced that our thoughts hold some inherent truth or importance, less committed to solving each problem or emergency about which our thoughts remind us constantly. You could say that we lose a degree of interest in the monkey mind song or the screech of the monkey. It's been my honor to be here today. I'll be back in 2 weeks with another form of meditation. I'm wishing all of you a wonderful afternoon. I thank you so much for joining me. I thank the Cary Library and the Cary Library Foundation.
Thank you, Leslie. There were just 2 questions if you wanted to answer them in the chat.
Yeah, I tried to answer them in the meditation.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry.
Nose breathing, inhales always. There's a lot of research. You can go on the internet and take a look. They've scientifically studied it. It behooves you to breathe through your nose, not only for relaxation, but for health. Many, many health benefits, from sleep to lessening anxiety to all the breathing problems that we have, to allergies. The list goes on and on and on. And there's a question of how do you unblock tension? In this meditation, you don't. What you do instead is you notice it. And in the noticing, often there will be a letting go. The form of meditation we just did was to show you that if you let go of trying, and if you let go of outcomes, there's a natural relaxation that happens just by doing nothing. Any other questions?
I think Matthew has a question also.
Yes, I understand the importance of not setting criteria by which we try to evaluate our success at meditating. But in saying don't try to control anything, it seems to me, at least, that in order to pay attention to our senses, we need to keep our attention on that. Otherwise, our monkey thoughts can distract us away to think about what happened yesterday or tomorrow, and thus lose the focus. So it seems like I just want to be sure I'm not missing something here. So it seems like there is some level of mild control that we need to aim for, but not be harsh on ourselves about. Am I missing it?
I will say that the teaching is not in parallel with your thinking.
Okay.
If the mind gets busy, you watch the mind get busy. There's no other place to go than what's happening in the moment. So if you happen to be thinking about what to eat for lunch, go ahead, watch what you're thinking about. Example, I start thinking about what to eat for lunch. I decided I'm gonna have a bologna sandwich on rye bread. My mouth starts watering because I start thinking about eating. There's a difference between that and watching myself think about what to eat. Now I'm removed from the actual experience. I'm watching thought rather than thinking about what I'm having for lunch. I'm watching my thinking of what I'm thinking about for lunch. That removal helps you to be in the present and let go of trying to control the experience on any level in any way. So if I find myself thinking that if I don't do this, then that will happen, I watch that behavior. Instead of believing it, I watch it. What does it mean to think that? What does it mean to believe that? How can I step back from it and watch what my body does when I think that, when I think about thinking about that, removing myself from the process as much as possible.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know if I have the words right, but
Well, no, thank you. I realize the importance of separating ourselves from our thoughts so that we look at them rather than feel a part of the flow itself.
but even making a determination that I have to put attention here rather than there, that's a form of control. Just let it roll, people, and see what happens. And the more you do this, the more you're going to find controlling is let go of at more and more deep levels, because you kind of get used to it. And I'll leave you with that because we're out of time, but we'll be back in 2 weeks when we pick up the discussion.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you
You're
so much,
welcome.
Leslie, and thank you
Bye,
everyone for
everybody.
coming.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye. Good week to everyone.